Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster. Today we're going to be reviewing the StarWars BlackSeries Dedra Meero. This figure is number 12 in the Andor line, and I gotta say, this is a figure I've been waiting for a really long time. Taking a look here at the box, we do have her amazing mural artwork here on the side, looking great. We do have the exact same image here on the back as well, but just a little bit bigger, as well as the bio, which you can pause and read if you would like. Flipping around to the other side, not a whole lot else going on with the box. So yeah, let's go ahead and get this figure cracked open and take a close look at everything this figure has to offer. Alrighty, so we got Dedra Meero out of the box, and I gotta say, she is looking absolutely amazing. She is on a pinless, single-jointed body. The arms and legs are reused from the Imperial Officer Tala figure, but a lot of this figure is surprisingly new, and we will get into that in just a few minutes when we compare it to the Tala figure. But yeah, I also think the likeness is great to the actress here, and this is just one of those figures from Andor Season 2 I've been dying to get, so really happy to have this one in the collection. Let's go ahead and get her off the spinny stand and take a close look at this figure. So here, looking at Dedra Meero, I gotta say, she looks really good. I really like the white Imperial Officer outfit and the black pants with the black boots. I think they all look just really good together. Looking at the articulation here, her head and neck are on a ball joint, so pretty solid range of motion there. You're gonna get pretty much anything you need to out of the head and neck area. The arms can get up into a T-pose, and they can go all the way around. Unfortunately, no butterfly joints on this character, which is a shame. I feel like all modern Black Series figures should have butterfly joints, but the female Imperial officers, or even the male Imperial officers, just don't really have butterfly joints for some reason, so I'm not really sure what's up with that, but it's something I have noticed. The elbows here can get to a little bit over 90, but not too far. And then the hands here, of course, do have swivel and a pivot. The right hand has a vertical hinge, and the left hand has a horizontal hinge. At the waist, she does have a ball joint as well, so good range of motion there. I will say there is no cut in the side of the shirt here, so she can't really get a super far kick up, which is different because most Imperial officers normally have a cut right here, so you can do that, but this one does not. And for that exact same reason, you can't get a ton of splits either, but she does have thigh swivels, which is good. Looking at the knees here, she can get to, I would say, maybe right under 90. It's not quite there, but I don't think you're gonna get her in a ton of super dynamic poses, so I don't think that's the end of the world. No boot swivels, unfortunately. And of course, for the ankles, she does have pivots, as well as rockers. Overall, it's not the best articulation, but it gets the job done. Now, looking at this figure compared to the Imperial Officer Tala, I thought this figure was pretty much going to be a complete reuse of the other one. But there's actually a lot of brand new sculpting, which is really good. Obviously, the head and neck are completely brand new for Dedra. Then both the arms and the legs are also reused on both of these figures. That would make sense. I'm sure the Imperial Officer outfits are pretty standard when it comes to that, so it does make perfect sense to reuse those parts. But the hands on Dedra are new because obviously she does not have gloves like Tala. But interesting enough, the actual torso as well as the belt and shirt overlays here are completely brand new for Dedra. Dedra does have a different little rank signet here on her chest compared to Tala. And for the belt overlay, she actually has a completely different belt, and she doesn't have a holster here like Tala does. She does have her holster. Dedra has no holster, which does kind of suck because there's no weapon storage for Dedra. But it is a completely brand new mold, which is great because it makes it more accurate to the show Andor, so I'm pretty happy with that change, even though it does get rid of the holster. So I am pretty happy with the amount of reuse and new sculpting on this figure. Looking at the face here for Dedra, I gotta say, I think the likeness to the actress is great. I think the haircut is good. She's even got some paint here on the top of the head to add a little bit of a highlight. So very nice paint job and face printing application here. I think this one turned out great. I think the biggest problem is she does have a little bit of a shiny face syndrome compared to some of the more recent Black Series figures coming out, but it is nowhere near as bad as it was back in 2021, 22. So this one is definitely acceptable, and I think it does get the job done, but I do hope they try to kind of contain that shiny face syndrome moving forward. Next up for comparisons, we do have the two other Imperial officers we got from the Andor show, with the Dark Times officer on the left, and we have the Imperial officer from Ferrix on the right. Both are looking great, and I do think we see both of them interact with Dedra in the show, so both of these are going to look great next to your Dedra on the shelf. Next up, we do have two versions of Cassian with the Imperial disguise on the right, and we have the Season 2 version on the left. Both of these Andors are looking great, and they are looking great next to Dedra Meero here as well. I gotta say, I really love the Imperial disguise version of Andor. I think it's such an underrated figure, and it looks great here just as an Imperial officer, so if you want some Imperial officers to pose with your Dedra, I think this Andor here on the right is a great choice to do that with. And then lastly, for comparisons, we do have 2 more Imperial officers, but just kind of for grins and giggles because we haven't seen any of these people interact with Dedra in the show, but we do have Grand Moff Tarkin on the left, and we have General Veers on the right. Now, we do know that Season 2 of Andor is going to lead into Rogue One, and we did see Grand Moff Tarkin in Rogue One, so there is a chance that we could see Dedra and Tarkin interact, so fingers crossed for that, but I think this just shows that Dedra is going to be a great Imperial officer for your collection if you just want her as like a standard background officer. She's going to look great next to the other ones in the line. So yeah, overall, I think this is a great Black Series figure to add to your collection. She is an Imperial officer, so she's going to look great next to any of the other Imperial figures in your collection, like your Vaders or your Tarkins, or even just Stormtroopers. She's going to look great next to all of those. And she is one of the main villains of Andor Season 2, so if you're a big Andor fan, she's going to look great next to any of those figures in your collection as well. The articulation is pretty solid. It could be better, but I think it gets the job done. And I do think the face sculpt and the photo real application is really good for this figure as well. Overall, I think this is a great addition to the line. So if you do have a chance to pick this one up, I do highly suggest you do it. So if you do want to pick this one up, I will have an affiliate link down below. It's by no means required, but it does help out the channel a lot, so if you are considering picking this one up, consider hitting that affiliate link down below. Anyway though, that is going to do it for this video, so I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.